So my name is Predrag Jovanovic, and I will deliver this session about team and organizational resilience. Before I start with the session, a few words about myself and why this topic and how I came to this to idea actually to work on team and organizational resilience. By formal education, I'm an electrical engineer, and for the last 15 years or so, I worked as a first sales trainer, then trainer in different soft skills methodologies, and nowadays mostly coaching and leadership development programs. So I'm ICF Master Certified Coach, and I'm a senior partner in consulting company Atria Group. And a couple of years ago, we were working with our partner from UK on some business simulations. And at that time, he told me that they are developing, that they got a request from London School of Business to develop a simulation for constant change management. And I asked him if he can share like a little bit more things about like why constant change management and where this request came from. And he said that on those days, like 2 or 3 years ago, companies experience that change management as we know it. You know, like there is a stable state 1, and then there is a process, and then there is a stable state 2, and then this process we call change management doesn't exist. That most of the companies experience that the stable state 1 actually happened a long time ago. And the moment when we are experiencing that we are close to stable state 2, it just moves away. So we are in constant change. And some companies would like actually to develop a culture of constant change management. And I was not sure if this was a relevant moment to develop to introduce such tool. But then this year, in March, I realized that actually the constant change management just arrived, and that we are in the process where things are changing on daily basis, on weekly basis, and 1 month is really like a long period of time. So in order to grasp change in a positive way, individuals need to develop a quality that we call resilience, and the same quality we need within teams and the organizations. And this session is about team and organizational resilience. So I have a presentation that I would like to share with you. Okay. Okay. So before we start with team and organizational resilience, I would like to just introduce the concept of resilience. So what is resilience? Interesting question. So first thing is resilience is ability. It's a personal ability. It means that we can develop it, and we can have it. We can be more resilient or less resilient, but we can work on it, and it's not guaranteed. Some people have a natural tendency to be more talented to be resilient than others, but everyone can become resilient. So we talk about personal ability to emotionally and mentally cope with crises or to return to pre-crisis status quickly. So we talk about mental and emotional process, and resilience exists when the person uses mental processes and behaviors in promoting personal assets and protecting self from potential negative effects of stressors. So we can talk about what we can do about it. Like currently I'm on vacation and I enjoy my time with my family. So if in next half an hour somebody jumps in that it's my family, that they think that I'm already done with a webinar. Or it can be mental process where I coach myself or someone else coaches me in order to become more efficient in dealing with whatever happens in external world. And why a topic of team and individual? So just in simple terms, so resilience exists in people who develop psychological and behavioral capabilities that allow them to remain calm during crisis and chaos, and to move on from the incident without long-term negative consequences. So capability, calmness, and continue into direction without where we had without where we're heading without any kind of negative consequences. So what about teams and organizations? Actually, a couple of weeks ago, a very good friend of mine, my colleague, posted this question on Facebook, on LinkedIn, sorry. So she said, after 20 years of working on development of individuals in organization, I feel confused. And then there is a question. HR professional and consultants, should we now means now when this crisis is present, or whatever we call it, should we put focus on individuals, teams, or organizations? Now this is a question that I would like to ask you. So what is your opinion in the crisis that we are facing right now, where our attention should be? If I assume that I talk to a group of HR professionals, consultants, trainers, and so on. So here is a poll. So please vote where our attention should be in development of teams, organizations, or individuals, in order, of course, to deal with this crisis in the best possible way. So I hope that you see this poll. Okay, please vote. 3-4 people voted. That's good. That means that somebody is in the room. Should be more. Oh, lots of people in a room. Okay, 5 people voted. So where our attention, there is this thing, things are happening, changing. And if we want to deal with this thing, where the attention should go? Organizations, teams, or individual? Currently, 10 people voted. Five more seconds. Okay, I will then end it. So these are your answers. 50% of people think that we should put focus on individuals. 30% thinks that we should put focus on teams, and 20% that we should put focus on organizations. So my invitation to you is that when you think about this question, like, try to step back from your current role. I mean, I'm I'm coach, and I like to work with individuals and teams. Of course, it's my daily job. But if we step back, just think about like why organization exists, why team exists, and why individual exists. Organization exists to create a profit to the owners of the capital. If there is no profit, owners of the capital will just pull out the capital and put it somewhere else. They will buy big bitcoins or whatever. Now it's booming again. And then teams exist to support organization, and individual exist to support teams. So although I really like to work with teams, if organizations don't exist, then teams don't exist and individuals don't exist. So so from the systemic point of view, we need to take care of the organization first, and then all other elements of this organization. And often if we start to take care of individuals and forget about organizations. Not forget, I mean, we take care of the organization as well, but like, because our attention is relatively limited, we forget that individuals are changing organization very fast. So they can move from one company to another, but organization exists. So if I'm part of organization, first I want to take care of organization, second about team, and the last thing is about individual. Individual should take care about himself, herself. So please, organizations, teams, or individuals. Organizations are here for to create a profit. This is why we are here. And then we need to really, from systemic point of view, take care about the biggest system, then a smaller system, and then the individual comes to the end. And then there is a question, not where we should put our attention, sorry, like or where is a priority, but like in my perception, a very important and much more important question is who is responsible for what. So if there is a system of individual, team, and organization, and of course I'm part of my organization, I'm part of my team, and I'm individual, so I belong to everything. But key question here is who is responsible for development of individual, who is responsible for development of team, and who is responsible of development of the organization. If we talk about resilience, resilience is just one of the skills that needs to be developed, as you saw previously. So it's not something that we have or not, but something that we develop through time. So I would like one more time to ask you a question: who is responsible for development of an employee? So I will launch poll. So here it is. So please, who is responsible for development of employee? Organization, CEO, senior management, middle management, direct superior, employee, HR business partner, HR department. Please vote. Okay. Okay. Please, guys, vote on these polls because it's very interesting to see how we think about these topics. So currently 5 people voted. We need more for statistics, you know, like more people included in the process. And of course, I just put one option there. There might be more options, multiple answers, but I would like to put our attention. If there is a one thing or group of people or person who is responsible, who is this person or team. So 5 more seconds. We need now to hurry up. Here it is. Here are the answers. So 60%, 6 of you think that employee is responsible. 2 people, 20% thinks that organization is responsible. 1 person thinks senior management and 1 person middle management. Please, for my development, only I can be responsible. If I give responsibility to someone else, then I cannot do anything about it. And this is one of the key problems with development programs. How many of you were part of development programs, were organizing development programs, or were delivering development programs, training, coaching, mentoring, whatever? The key problem is that people who come to these development programs, some of them don't take a responsibility for their own development. And then development program is over, and then they're not all of them, all people shift in the same level forward. Some of them don't move at all because in general, people don't take responsibility. So if you're a coach, if you're a trainer, if you're a consultant, you cannot take the responsibility for someone else's result. So my development as an employee is my own thing. It's not the goal of my organization. Especially systems cannot be responsible. Organization is a system. There is no one who can be responsible. Nobody could say it's me. Senior management, of course, is in charge for their own development as well as middle management, but they can make a setting, but the responsibility for development is on individual level. This was a question about individual development. So what would you say if I ask a question about team development? Who is responsible for team development? And again, there are multiple choices, but one answer. So just a single choice. You need one to pick. So is it organization? Is it CEO, senior management, team leader, each team member, HR business partner, HR department? Please vote. Okay, 5 people voted. 9 people, few more, just for the good statistics. Okay, 5 seconds. Okay, here are the results. So one person thinks senior management, one person HR department, 8 people each team member, and 4 people team leader. So team is an entity within the organization, and this entity has a person who is in charge for this entity. So if there will be one choice, one option, then it's a team leader. If you want to develop your teams, key person is your team leader. And often organizations are putting focus on team members without building the capacity of team leader and without team leaders' responsibility to take care about teams. So we go about team. It's one entity as a part of a bigger entity. So like we can call it, use the term whole in one. In a big whole, as an organization, there is a one small whole, there is a team, and then there is an individual as a part of this team. So for this team, there is a person who is in charge. It's a team leader. So please, if you're a coach, if you're a trainer, consultant, HR, and your job is to develop teams, take care about team leaders. I mean, you include them, work with them. These are guys or ladies or whatever we call them, like whose responsibility is team development, team results, and so on. And one more question for you. Who is in charge for development of organization, including the resilience of the organization? So each employee, CEO, senior management, middle management, HR professional, business partners, HR department. Please vote. Two people voted. So if we talk about organization, including the resilience of the organization, who is responsible? Who is the person who says, well, or a group of people says, you are responsible. Or they should raise their hand, say, we are responsible. Okay, we have 10 people voted, so I will just end the poll because of the time. Interesting. Like one person thinks each employee and HR department, 4 people HR professionals, and group of people CEO and senior management. Following the previous logic, basically for the organizational resilience, the ones who are responsible, who says we are responsible, these are CEO and senior management, those people who are leading organization. Because if we put the responsibility to each individual, if responsibility is everyone's, then it's no one's. There should be at least a group of people. So in this case, definitely these two answers are okay. CEO and the senior management, because they are key influencers and they are taking care of the organization. So why these topics, these questions are important? If we work on a team resilience or organizational resilience, we need to include right people. Team resilience, yes, you sense it, you feel it through the resilience of each individual. However, there should be one person who is the main, or a group of people who are main influencers with whom we need to work in order to have sustainable development in any area, including resilience. So I will continue with the presentation. Okay. So what is team or organizational resilience? Team resilience is the capacity, so similar as individual resilience, but now of group of people to respond to change and disruption in a flexible and innovative manner. In a face of adversity, resilient teams maintain their work productivity while minimizing emotional toll on their members. When we talk about organizational resilience, again, is the capacity of the organization to anticipate, prepare for, response, and adapt to incremental change and sudden disruptions in order to survive and prosper. So we talk about movement even forward, even when crises are happening. So can we talk? Just a few things that are in common from resilience teams. This is from Harvard Business Review. So one thing is that they believe that they can effectively complete tasks together. So it's about belief, like building their. It's not about true. It's about what they think about true. So how they perceive. It's fully subjective. So somebody needs to work on it. Who? Team leader. They share common mental model of teamwork. So mental model, the way of thinking, it's not about reality. It's how they think about reality. Somebody needs to work on it. Who? Team leader. They are able to improvise. Okay, improvisation is an individual thing. If individuals are good in improvisation, then team will be good. But again, setting the scene and building the context in which teams can improvise. Again, who is responsible for that? Team leader. Trust as one of the key components of teams, and psychological safety. So there are many books, very nice books that talk about trust and why trust is important. And again, although all of us are, we need to build trust. For trust, we need time. The one who is setting the pace and the building creating the environment where we can actually build the trust is a team leader. So team leader is the one that is really important for such a case, for such a thing. So like, because we are now we lost a couple of minutes, we will not go with this exercise. And then I would like to connect resilience with the topic from the very beginning. I told you a story about constant change management. So can we talk then about the culture of constant change management? Can we talk about culture of resilience? Basically, these two things are same. Why are same? Because constant change management means how people react when external things are happening and how people continue to be productive. And the same thing is about culture of resilience. So if we can build a culture of constant change management, we will build a culture of resilience. So here are what some of famous people, or at least people who are who you can find as an influencer, are saying about culture of resilience. So George Stott from Boston Consulting Group, he says culture of resilience manifests itself from as a form of psychological immunity or ability. Again, we talk about ability to rebound from the untoward effects of adversity. And one more executive, he says, a resilient organization is the one that not merely survives over the long period term, but also flourishes, passing the test of time. So in crisis, resilient organizations and teams should move forward. They shouldn't wait for crisis to pass. They should accept change and flexibly deal with it. So it's not about this too shall pass. It's about what we will do when whatever is happening externally. So can we build a culture, and how we can build a culture of resilience? So when it comes to culture, I really like the guy, this Joshua Cohen. He wrote the book Leverage, CEO's Guide for Corporate Culture, and he's a very practical guy. And this sentence really resonates a lot with me. People have values, organizations have behaviors. So how we behave in a certain setting, no matter what is happening externally, actually defines our culture. So if things externally change, our teams should behave in a way to deal with change so that we build a culture of resilience. How we do it, how we did it in our team, how we do it with our clients. We use so-called Brito model. And there are these 4 areas that we want to repeat in a short period of time. What is short period of time? It's 3 months. When things are changing fast, and then when we don't know what will happen tomorrow, long-term vision doesn't work so much. So we need something that is shorter term. So 3 months is a perfect period for us. Also, it's connected with agility. And in lots of companies now, we are there is this three month sprint that we would like to achieve something. So we start first with measurement, and we would like to have a measurement on individual level. So how then we connect individuals, teams in the organizations? If we have resilient teams, then we will have resilient organizations. So working directly on organization is difficult, but working on a team level, it's not so difficult, and it can be done. But how we know that teams is resilient, we will ask individuals. So we would like to start with measurement, with really measuring on weekly basis, weekly pulse, what is happening by simple questionnaires. So nothing complex, 12 to 13 questions that are based on the well-established research. And in this model, we talk about, you will get later from our organizers link to the application that is free of charge, like Trello. So we are just asking people several questions that I will share later with you. So we start with measurement, then we make analysis. So what is going on, what these answers actually mean, and then we act upon these answers, and then we evaluate again. And for 3 months, this is what we repeat. What are the relevant areas? One area is the area of organization. Next 2 areas, meaningfulness and leadership. And last 2 areas, social environment and workload. Based on what these areas were chosen, basically based on some researches, and I will share with you statements and researches based on what these statements were created. So one statement is, lately I have been able to influence my work. So one lately needs to be removed. Next one, the company management has acted in the way that I trust. Leadership, lately I received the support and guidance from my closest manager. The importance of direct superior, very important. Next one, lately, my closest manager has shown that he or she cares about me as an individual proportionate to my expectations. Meaningfulness, myself, I have developed and learned new things at work lately. Next one, lately, I have used my talents and strengths at work. Workload, lately, I had opportunity to rest in proportion of my needs and working hours. I'm on vacation right now and I'm working on it. My wife will kill me. And I have had sufficient time to work on tasks which are important but not urgent. And the last group, lately the work has been enjoyable, the teamwork and communication with my colleagues worked well, and balance between work and private life has been good lately. These are statements. Later you will get a presentation, you can go deeper in it. So how actually we do it? We put a 3 months period. And we would like to have a survey, like a very short survey, once per week, free of charge on team level. You don't need to pay anything. But this is the moment where you include your team leader. And then sometimes companies say, look, but in our companies, employees don't want to answer these surveys. Well, this is the problem of your company. You need to work on that. Because if there is a trust, people will do it. But if there is no trust, people don't do it. So who is in charge for trust within teams? Team leader. So work with your team leader. If team leader builds the trust, then the people will start to answer these things. It's simple indicator. And then there are 4 areas: measurement, analysis, action, evaluation. So we would like to get right inputs from individual, then analyze this inputs, turn it into insight, and then act based on this insight. And then of course, we evaluate if we get desired outcome. The period is 1 quarter. So how we start? We start with basically getting the pulse and then getting the baseline. Once per week, people start to answer these questions. And who do we coach? We coach team leader. We work with a team leader. If you have 20 teams, you work with 20 team leaders. If you're HR, you can coach them internally, you can coach them externally, but these are key people who will build the culture. Team leaders. And you get the baseline. I will show you an example later. And then you continue to work with them. And now after 1 month, you get the trend, you get the graph. You see how things are happening on weekly basis. And then what you can do, you can put a goal, quarterly goal, and then to plan some action steps, how to change things within teams so that you get a better trend, you get a better results. Because if you improve on those in those areas, what will happen? This will be, you will get more resilient teams, and these teams will deal with the situation in a better way. Then you continue to coach team leader, and then you check if there is a progress in terms of action steps that were set. You know, like it's a very short period of time, like we talk about months and weeks. And if needed, you include professional services like a training, coaching, consulting, whatever, any kind of development thing. And then after that, you continue to coach team leader and adjust your action steps that you agree with your team leader so that you can have a better subjective perception of individuals. And then you need, after 2 months, to see performance results. You continue to work, so coach, adjust action, you see performance, and at the end you get your desired results and you achieve your goal. So how exactly this is what does it professional services mean? Like, you know, motivation, culture development, leadership development, or whatever. So the name of the model is Brito. You will get a link from the organizer, so that and all the additional info. And I will give you example. This is example of one team. Look, this is just a leadership. It's not about workload, not meaningfulness, not organization, not social environment. Leadership. Look, week 22. 5. You know what happened week 22? Crisis. All of a sudden, we didn't know where we are. So this leader was really, like, team leader was talking to people. People answered hi these 2 questions. Lately, I've been supporting, and I received support and guidance from my closest manager. Lately, my closest manager has shown that she cares about me as an individual, proportion to my expectation. And then look, it went up. So team leader put a pressure on results. Results came, but luckily team leader saw that the curve is going down. So team leader could put pressure on results because results came, but then it was a feedback. Okay, let's change. Let's continue to work with people, and the curve went out. So here we want to see trend. What's going with trend? And the second example for the same team is about meaningfulness. So from week 22 to 33, that meaningfulness has a trend to grow. So team leader is working with team members so that they is subjectively think that they have developed and learned new things at work, and I have lose my strengths and talents at my work. This team leader is me. This is my team. So we started with this when this crisis started, and look, this was very important insight for me. Just, you know, I don't put pressure on results. Now we got results, but the subjective experience of team members went down. And in this, we have a trend of that my colleagues see work as very meaningful. So this is it. I'm done. I don't know what is the time. So hopefully this thing worked well. Now it's time for questions and answers. So there are some comments. Response, bravo, Nina. Nice comments. Dear participant, okay. So now it's a time for questions and answers. Anything you would like to ask? Sorry, I was going fast through this presentation because I'm not aware of how much time we have right now. Yeah. So if we still have time, I can go back to we still have time. Okay, if there is something that I really went fast through it, I can go back. So I will just summarize. So we want organizational resilience. Organizations are facing the change. but how to save organizations. It's difficult to work directly on organizations. So next segment that we can work and that we can have direct influence are teams. And to work with teams, we need to include team leaders to get responsibility and to get the awareness that they are responsible. It's your responsibility what is happening in your team. And with building this awareness, as they are getting awareness, to find a way how to work with them, because like most of team leaders are experts, they were not trained with working with people. So first thing they build awareness, and then how to do it. And then we have this very simple approach that is connected to this book, CEO's Guide for Leadership Culture, Leverage. And book says organization have values, people have values, organization have behaviors. So how to behave in a certain environment. And this is why we would like to start with the measurement of pulse. So on a weekly basis, asking a people what is to answer these 12 questions with the application. You can download it. Team leader can download it. It's free of charge when they're using on a team level. And then team leader can get direct feedback. What is currently happening on organizational level? These graphs will show the current level of resilience with the team. So what is important to follow is trend, not like one result, it's not like 360, because 360 maybe today will be bad and then in 2 months something changes, it will be good. You get just trend, and trend depends on what is happening externally and what is happening internally. And then when the team leader starts to get these ideas, then team leader might say, well, I need support. Perfect. So how we can support you? We can train you, we can coach you, we can mentor you, we can organize consultant, we can send you for education, or none of this. But like what you can do about it. And then there is a responsibility for a team leader to be part of development processes, to be part of any kind of activities that is connected with supporting individuals in their team, so that they can subjectively answer higher on those questions. So when things are changing fast, it's important just to have a short period of time, 3 months. If 1 year is too long, and then you put a target, you get a measurement, you do analysis, you define the action steps, and then you change it. So, so first we should coach our team leaders how to be resilient. Okay. So what it means and what. So ideally, if we want to develop resilient organization, we should include team leaders and work with them to develop resilience of teams that they have. And what you can do, because organization, if whatever structure of an organization is there, maybe there is a functional organization or hierarchical organization. So what you can do, you can invite team leaders to be part of such a process, 3-month process. You coach them, and then you start, okay, how we can measure, how we can get a pulse of your team. This model that I just presented you, it's one of the models. There are many models. The value of this one is it's a free of charge on team level. And you say, okay, let's ask your team members, what do they think? And like often there is no enough resources for development, but now there is a resource that is free of charge. And like you then say, well, it's a free of charge. You can check the test. What is what is the pulse of your team? And then when the team leader gets these results, then you can start coaching him. Sometimes it might include developing his or her own resilience, but also it can include just what I can do in order for my team members to answer higher on those questions that are part of the application. So long story short, in order to get a resilient organization, we need to start to work with team leaders. Okay. Any other question? Anything else that you might be interested when it comes to this topic, or you would like me to go back to any of these things because it went really fast? So ideally, in a times like this, just to put a 3 months period as something that you would like to see some kind of results. You're welcome. And then in this 3 months period, before you offer development, first build the insight. Development without insight from most of us, because of many things that are happening on daily basis, it might not work. I mean, I have also my team and I need to deliver. Look, I'm now in the delivery, and then the things are happening. This thing doesn't work. Maybe it's because of me, maybe because of the internet. We don't know why, and I'm stressed. And then my team member calls me about something, and then I say, and I am in tension, so I need to after the webinar is over, to calm myself down fast if I have a personal resilience, and then to get included in teamwork. So somebody needs to work with me. So there is a sense to include coaching for senior management in times like this. How to overcome obstacles and find peace despite stress and chaos. Okay, so it's about personal resilience. This is a question. So there are two areas of personal resilience. One is physical, the other is psychological. For physical resilience, like you can establish a daily routine, something that you just do on daily basis. This is how I do it. On daily basis, what I do, I read, I do physical activity. I exercise literally on daily basis. I spend a couple of minutes in silence. I'm not good in meditation, but I spend a couple of minutes just in my own silence, and I play the guitar, just dancing, singing, and things like that. Any kind of movement. So this is a physical dimension. And what is important is to have a routine. So you don't break it ever, 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 ever. You just keep it. I'm on vacation, I'm doing same thing. I'm at home, I'm doing same thing. I'm traveling, I'm doing same thing. So I never break my routine. And sometimes, like you feel tired and you don't want to go. And then this is the indicator where you should go. So this is a physical dimension. And the second psychological dimension, the short, how to say, advice is don't trust your major strengths. Your major strength in the time of crisis becomes your major weakness, because you want to resolve the crisis with what the strength is. So ideally is when the crisis comes, think about the person who pisses you off, someone who is really like who is not how to say, who is not responsible, who is or too pushy or whatever, like someone who is completely different than you. And try to think, what is the thing that this person is doing and how this person is dealing. So this is something that you don't have well developed inside of yourself. This is your indicator that there is something for development. This is why that person stresses you. And then you try to find these resources internally. So if we talk about psychological flexibility, so to find your own resources to develop inner flexibility, to energize those parts of yourself that are not your major strength. When we coach people, usually clients bring topics, but as coach, I'm not involved in topic, I'm involved in client. As clients, when I'm client, I have topic because I'm not flexible internally. So what I would like from my coach to help me to develop my internal flexibility. And idea and the way how you do it, you just look around and recognize what are those people that are like way different than you. And what they have as a strength is something that you need to find inside of yourself. I mean, you can always hire a coach. That's also not a problem, but that's also a way. However, if you don't want for any reason, just look around and find. Like this is how I picked my wife. She's way different than me. She's hugging trees. Like I would never do it, but I see she hugs a tree. Well, maybe I can do the same thing. Okay. Anything else? And of course, if I would be out of, if I told her I will be back in an hour and a half, and I will be in 2.5 hours because she's hugging trees, she will be relaxed most probably. If I would leave, if she would tell me I'm back in an hour and a half and she gets back in 2.5 hours, I would tell her, where are you until now? So the way to develop internal flexibility, this is how we do it. So psychological and physical. Go back always to definitions. What is the definition of resilience? And then there is an ability in psychological and physical areas, so what you will do and how you mentally deal with it to grasp the change. So whatever happens, it's nothing, it's external thing. It's about how you react on it. Okay, anything else? Okay, so sorry one more time for these technical things. I was a little bit faster than I expected. Hopefully I managed to transfer the main message to you, and I will summarize it one more time. So in a crisis, like not crisis in general, if we're in business, just from the systemic point of view, where we are, organizations, and if you study the economy, you know, we build a business in order to produce, to make a profit. That's it, it's a dot. And then ideally for the owners of the capital, businesses shouldn't include people. But unfortunately or fortunately, people are included and it will be included for some time. So if people are included, then we have organization, we have teams, and we have individuals. Individuals are changing organization quickly, fast, you know, like once in 2 years, 3 years, we change the organization. So we need to take care about teams and team resilience, so that whenever change is happening in a team, there should be there should be stability. And the key person is a team leader. So if we want to build organizational development resilience, we will need to build team resilience. One of the ways is the book is I will answer later. So one of the ways is to get the pulse, the input from individual, and you can pick any tool, but this one that I mentioned, Brito, is free of charge on team level. So like there can be better tools, of course, but if something is free, it's free. And why it's important to be free? Then when you go to team leader and you ask him who is responsible, and the person is, I'm responsible. Okay, great. Now I'll give you something free of charge. Now show me what you will do about it. And then there is always lots of excuses. When they need to pay, there is excuses, but now you don't need to pay. And this is the moment where you can start to work on building resilient teams. You get a weekly pulse, you put a 3 months goal, and you start to include your team leader in development programs. And this is where you raise a probability. This is the way to raise a probability that you have people who are included in the program, so that the return on investment is better. So book Leverage, CEO's Guide for, I'll type it here. Yeah, CEO's Guide for Corporate Culture. Yes, that's the book. You're really welcome, and we will stay in touch. You have my contacts, and organizers will send you presentations and links for this application that I shared with you, so that you can play with it. Thank you very much, and hopefully you enjoyed this session, and I wish you great continuance of the conference. Bye bye. You're welcome. Now I'm going to the beach. Bye. Thank you.